In a moment of need, every second counts. So first responders, delivery drivers, and visitors can find your home fast, even in the dark. This is about more than just a number. It's about safety, visibility, and peace of mind. We created a house number that is not only a beacon of safety, but also a work of art. Crafted from durable stainless steel and waterproof acrylic, with efficient, low-voltage LED backlighting, it's uniquely yours. Choose from 6 sizes, 4 fonts, and 6 colors, and match your home's mood with bright, neutral, or warm white halo lighting. Add dusk to dawn, dimming and timing controls for complete command.
Every order includes free worldwide shipping, plus a 2-year warranty on lighted numbers and all powering accessories.
This is the ultimate home upgrade. A perfect blend of style, quality, and function.
Buy yours today.
Welcome to the Turnpike Sports Spotlight. Dave Weishottle with you. I was 7 years old when the casinos came to my home state of New Jersey, and ever since then, I have been fascinated with them. Whether they be in New Jersey or Las Vegas, casinos have a special place in our history, and that history, in my opinion, is preserved through their collectibles. That's why I'm excited to talk to our next guest. Charles Kaplan is founding member and current chair of the Museum of Gaming History. He is the current vice president and past president of the Atlantic City Casino Collectibles Club. He is a life member of the Casino Collectibles Association, and he is webmaster for the Chip Guide. And we're going to hear all about those organizations and those resources because Charles Kaplan is on the line right now. Charles, welcome to the show.
Well, good morning.
Good morning to you. And like I said, I love the history of gaming and the casinos, and I think what you're doing is so important for the gaming industry and preserving its history. And by the way, I also want to add that you also started the Caribbean Casino Collectibles Club and the New York Metro Casino Collectibles Club. I'm curious, how did you get your interest in the gaming industry and collectibles? I mean, what motivated you to start what I think are some very important organizations in this industry?
My start is kind of typical. As a kid, I was a coin collector, and that kind of went away a little bit. And when I got old enough to start visiting casinos, I thought the casino chips were attractive, and I would take home a $1 casino chip from each casino that I visited. And then later on, I discovered that there was a club for people like me, and I became a club member, and then a very active club member, and now I'm one of the guys who helps run the club.
I want to first ask you about the Casino Collectibles Association, which is an incredibly popular organization in this industry. What was the goal in the creation of the Casino Collectibles Association? What is its mission out there?
So it was actually started by a New Jersey native, Archie Black, and he's a very serious collector of Atlantic City casino chips. He started a little website for them and was connected with a lot of other individuals, and back about 30 years ago, they got together at a American Numismatic Association convention and put together the Casino Collectibles Association, which back then was known as the Casino Chip and Gaming Token Collectors Club. So about 10 years ago, they changed the name to widen, explain that we're widening the interest and make it more available to more collectors of gaming memorabilia.
Now, I know a lot of people here in New Jersey that have items from when the gaming industry started in the 70s in this state. I mean, When someone looks at an item from a casino or something from the gaming industry, how is value determined? Is it the popularity of the casino? Is it the fact that maybe the casino doesn't exist anymore? How does someone, if they have an item, know it's valuable? I mean, for example, in my house, I have these plastic coin buckets from casinos that don't exist anymore. I mean, does the fact that no one uses coin buckets anymore, and number two, some of these casinos don't exist anymore, does that increase the value or the importance of these type of items?
Yeah, it's not a straight answer on that. Mm-hmm. It really depends on what it is. As far as value for casino memorabilia, like most things, it's based on demand and supply. Mm-hmm. With New Jersey casinos, they all happen to be giant casinos, really, really big, and compared to other casinos around the world. So when they do something, they do it big, and they make a lot of them. So New Jersey collectors are kind of blessed that there's plenty of supply out there for the stuff that they want to collect. There are few things that are really rare and hard to find. I know that there's a 50-cent chip from Resorts that's kind of unique that sold for over $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the main things people have in their possession are casino chips. And I, from reading your background, you know a lot about casino chips. I mean, if someone's holding on to a casino chip, what should they be looking for with regard to how important this chip is or how valuable this chip is? I mean, you blew me away with that Resorts chip. I mean, I wonder if people have something like that in their attic or their drawer and just don't know they have that in their possession.
Well, now that you bring it up, I'd like to deviate a little bit about finding stuff in a drawer.
Okay.
The most valuable $1 casino chip worldwide was one from the original Showboat Casino in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. There was one that sold on eBay for over $30,000.
Wow.
At the height of collectibles, and that one was found by a woman who was going through her deceased husband's dresser. So it was just a souvenir that somebody took home, put away in a drawer, and then laid there for many, many years until it was found. And fortunately, she was able to get some good information that this was a valuable chip and sold it the right way and got premium money for it. So there are only a handful of those chips. They're absolutely beautiful chips, and anybody who's a casino chip collector would want to have one in their collection. But like I said, there are only a handful of them around, so they command top dollar. I thought I'd share that with you.
I bet you right now some people are just ripping their closets apart, just their drawers and dumping their drawers after hearing that. But you mentioned that, she got valuable information. And I think one of the amazing resources out there for people who have casino chips or collect casino chips is the Chip Guide. What is the Chip Guide, and what kind of information does it give people interested in casino chips?
So the Chip Guide is a catalog. It's a listing of casino memorabilia, and it could be pretty much anything from casino chips, which most collectors are interested in, to coin buckets and dice and postcards and pens. Anything that was that comes from a casino and has a casino logo or casino name on it is stuff that you'll find in the Chip Guide. Mm-hmm. But also, because we call it the Chip Guide and its heritage, we also have memorabilia chips from organizations that were not casinos.
Oh, okay.
So fraternal clubs like VFWs and Elks, they make custom chips for use in their lodges. And we have them on the Chip Guide. Also, Harley Davidson makes poker chips that they sell at their retail locations. I think we have over 30,000 different Harley chips on the chip guide. So if it's a chip of any kind, it'll be on the chip guide. And if it's anything from a casino that shows its logo or its name on it, then we'll put it in the chip guide.
How does someone go about using the chip guide? Because it's absolutely packed with information from listening you describe it. How does someone navigate the chip guide so they can be informed of what the potential importance of a chip they have in their possession or some form of memorabilia? I mean, sometimes these websites are pretty complicated, but walk us through the chip guide. And if someone has something from a casino or a gaming organization, where do they start with the chip guide?
Okay. Good question. The main aim that I focus on, and we have a group of about 20 administrators that handle new submissions and updating existing information on the chip guide. The main focus for them is to keep things easy to find. Mm-hmm. So when you go to the chip guide website, and by the way, if you want the address of it, it's chipguide.themogh.org. Okay. So it's chipguide.themogh.org. When you go there, what you'll see first is a map of the United States. And each state is clickable, and when you click on a particular state, you will then see all the casinos in that state. When you click on one of the casinos, you will then see all the items that we have on the chip guide from that casino. So it's a drill-down process of going to the home page, selecting a state, selecting a casino, and then you'll see all the items in the casino. And there's also on the home page a picture of the globe. So if you want to find something from outside of the United States, you click on the picture of the globe, and then you'll get a map of the world, and you drill down from region to country to casino. And there's also a picture of a boat, because there are casinos on cruise ships.
All right, okay.
So if you click on the boat, you get a listing of all the cruise ships that had casinos, and you drill down that way. So it's a simple drill down process. And that is available to everybody. You don't have to be a member of this Casino Collectibles Association. Everybody has access to that. There are additional search facilities that you get if you are a member of the Casino Collectibles Association. And then you could do a search on casino name. So if you just have a casino chip with the word nugget on it and a value, you could search on the word nugget. You get a list of all the casinos that we have on the chip guide with the word nugget in it. And then you could kind of figure out from there where your chip is from.
You just made my plans for this afternoon, because that sounds so interesting and so fun to do. I mean, that is so great.
Yeah, we're approaching 350,000 different collectible items on the chip guide. So organization is key in order for people to find the stuff that they're looking for.
Another important organization that you are chair of is the Museum of Gaming History. Tell me about that, because I think that is such an amazing creation for this industry. What is the goal and driving force behind the Museum of Gaming History?
The Museum of Gaming History is part of the Casino Collectibles Association, and it was created about 20 years ago to hopefully one day establish a physical museum where we could showcase casino collectibles and the history of gaming. That requires a lot of resource, and we haven't been able to put the resources together. But what we have done is we have exhibits running in several different locations in the Las Vegas area. You may be familiar with the MOGH Museum.
Sure.
So we have on loan to the MOGH Museum a number of our items. We're also in a gaming store called Spinetti's in Las Vegas. We have an exhibit at the Plaza. We've had exhibits at other locations, including the Neon Museum. We've also got an exhibit at El Cortez Casino. And we've been in other places over time, but, they've been for special occasions. The casino or museum is having some kind of display, and they need some additional items, and we will provide a showcase and the items to go into the showcase. One of the more interesting ones that we did was cheating devices, and we had several cabinets of cheating devices on display at the Nevada State Museum.
Wow. I was reading about the Museum of Gaming History, and I love the fact that I saw that you have experts who volunteer their time with regard to artifacts and memorabilia from the gaming industry. I mean, if someone is interested in an artifact from a casino, how does the Museum of Gaming History help really put a story behind that artifact and that piece of memorabilia?
Putting the stories together. We have an exhibit director in Las Vegas, and when we get a request to do an exhibit, he is the guy who figures out what kind of story we want to tell. He's very familiar with the collectors and will then go and seek items to fill out that story and create an exhibit for one of our partners.
It's certainly one of the big factors for collectors and for any kind of memorabilia is authentication, and actually knowing what they have in their possession is actually what they think they have in their possession. Is authentication of memorabilia an important part of the Museum of Gaming History existence? I mean, making sure what a collector has in their possession is real and an authentic item? Fortunately,
there are very few instances of people trying to make counterfeit items, casino chip items. Most of that you will see are being made to fool the casinos. So there are known examples of people who will make live casino chips and try them, pass them off at the casino to make some money. As far as the collectible side, there's only been a few instances, and again, we're very fortunate to have a lot of experts in the hobby who will immediately identify anything that doesn't look right. So we've had to deal with a few instances of articles that were not genuine, but they've been handled very well, and very few collectors have ever been scammed by buying something that's not real. On the chip guide, when we come across an item that's not genuine, we have a section for them that we put those items in. They're on the chip guide just to alert collectors that they're not genuine. So I think we've done a very adequate job of policing the industry, identifying items that are not genuine, cataloging them to let collectors know that they're not genuine. I want to add, most of that is individuals who are making what they consider tourist items for sale in shops around Nevada that kind of look like casino chips. They're not trying to scam anybody, but they're also maybe not saying that this was not an item that was used in the casino, even though it may appear to be. So they're mostly souvenir items, but we have them in a chip guide just to alert people that these were items that were not ever used in the casino.
You know, I'm curious, when we're talking about collectibles from the United States, I mean, I would assume, and maybe I'm wrong, that most of the casino collectibles would come from Las Vegas because they have been doing casino gambling a lot longer than Atlantic City. Is that the case? The older casino collectibles originating in the United States are from Las Vegas or Nevada in general?
Yes. Nevada got casino gaming back in 1931. Back then, the state legislature authorized two things to help them get out of the Depression, and that was quickie divorces and casinos. And there was, in the West really didn't have any restrictions on gambling in the early days, and you could find gamblers running poker games in bars all throughout the West in the early days of the United States. When territories became states, generally they had to then ban casino gambling because it wasn't legal in the United States. So Nevada had gambling before 1931, but it was gambling that occurred naturally, that was unlicensed, and really wasn't restricted. When Nevada became a state, they had to ban gambling, so the gambling became illegal gambling down in the basements of bars. And then when gambling became legal again, they brought the gaming tables back up to the street level because they could then advertise it.
I mentioned Atlantic City, and you're part of another group, the Atlantic City Casino Collectibles Group. Tell us about that. I mean, are things that people collect from Atlantic City unique with regard to casino memorabilia than anywhere else in the world? I mean, I'm just curious. Tell us about the Casino Collectibles Group, and what is the inspiration behind that group?
Okay. The Casino Collectibles Association is a national organization, and it's for all collectors. There are several collector groups throughout the country that focus on their local areas. And the Atlantic City Club is the oldest and the largest of all the regional collector clubs. Yes. I'm trying to remember how far back they go, but we just had our 30th anniversary. So I guess it's about 1993 or 4 or so that the organization began. We currently have quarterly meetings. We used to be at casinos. The meetings were held at casinos in Atlantic City, but the casinos are no longer interested in providing free rooms for us. So we are now meeting right next door in Brigantine at the Cove Restaurant. And we meet on Sundays. Next meeting is March 2nd, and we start the meetings at 11 a.m. So, and then we get, a nice group, maybe about 50 or so collectors to show up. And the activities at the meetings are a trade and sales session. We will have a 50-50 raffle. We will auction off items from collectors, and occasionally we will get in a speaker to talk on a various topic at our meetings. So the meetings generally run 2 to 3 hours.
That sounds like a great event. I love the history of Atlantic City, and I love the history of what you're doing. And one of the great events that you're having in Las Vegas is the Casino Chip and Collectibles exhibition and show at the South Point Casino. Tell us about that event, because I think that's the world's largest exhibition of its kind with regard to casino collectibles. I mean, what can people expect from that show when they attend?
So, yes, that is our annual convention. We have a showroom. We generally have about 100 or so dealers there selling all types of casino memorabilia from all over the world. And again, Nevada is ground zero for collectors. So it's mostly Nevada, but you will find stuff from pretty much everywhere, including Atlantic City. At the convention. So besides the showroom, they do have exhibits where collectors will put together an exhibit of collectibles that they are interested in. I usually do one. I've already done one for the upcoming convention in June. Besides that, there will be raffles. There are educational seminars. There are some social events, such as there's a banquet that starts off the 3-day convention, where collectors who only see each other once a year in person get to socialize with each other. There's a poker tournament.
Wow, nice.
There's a blackjack tournament. And then there's some side events that people put together.
I would guess if you're a casino memorabilia collector, this would have to be the place to go because, like you said, there are people from around the world with items from casinos that you probably can't see anywhere else. I mean, and
Yeah.
After 33 years, how has this exhibit and show grown? Because for something to last 33 years, you know it has to be pretty important for the industry.
Right. I remember going to my first one, and at that time it was held at the Tropicana before we moved a few times until we got to the South Point. And I love the South Point. For me, it's one of the most convenient and easy to use and nicest casinos in Vegas, especially for our convention. But once I went to the first one, I haven't missed one since. I've been to over 20 of them now. And, you know, it's great to go there and to be able to engage in collecting activities. But I will say the main reason that people go there is to socialize and to get together with their friends that they only get to meet once a year at the convention. So when I go there, every meal is a meal with somebody else that I, want to get together with that I haven't seen for a year. And so it's really the camaraderie and sharing stories and the fun that we have at the convention that draws everybody there. It's such a nice group of people.
I was going to ask you about that. Anytime I go to a gaming conference or a convention, that's usually I see where the big deals happen. I mean, two people or two companies get in the same room and suddenly magic happens. I was going to ask you, is that the same way with the casino collectibles exhibit and show? I mean, do big deals tend to happen because people are talking and communicating about an item that's usually right in front of them?
This is probably the largest deal that ever happened for a single casino chip. An individual collector bought a group of chips in a bag on eBay. Mm-hmm. Wasn't really sure everything that was in the bag, but came across a chip that they were not familiar with. It turned out that chip was previously unknown to collectors. It was from, I believe, the Showboat Casino in Las Vegas, a $25 chip. And two collectors or collector dealers were really interested in it. And in the hallway, the two of them bid over $100,000.
Whoa, wow.
To buy that chip.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Okay. Now, after that story, now I know people are going to be interested in this conference and this show. How can people get involved in this show? I mean, is there a website where they can go to and buy tickets and have a program, or what dealers will be there and what casino memorabilia they can find there?
Yeah.
So, I think you just piqued everyone's interest with that story.
If you go to the Casino Collectibles Association website, which is ccgtcc.com. Mm-hmm. If you go to that website, they will have all the information about the club and certainly about the convention. There is a sign-up form for admission tickets to the convention. If you want to stay at the South Point, and if you're a serious collector, that's a good idea. To do that, you can also get reduced rate hotel rooms with a link that's available on the website. So all the information, it'll have a list of the dealers, the events that are going on. All that information is on the website.
I got to ask you, you're a collector and you talk to a lot of collectors of casino memorabilia. Is there something out there somewhere that is the ultimate in casino collectibles? Is there a holy grail of casino collectibles out there that either you or other collectors that you know of would love to get their hands on?
There is, and the story behind that item is probably the most famous casino that people think of in Las Vegas is the Flamingo. Mm-hmm. And the Flamingo was started by Bugsy Siegel. Well, he took it over while it was under construction, but it was his casino. And it turned out that, well, Bugsy was very skilled in a lot of different things. Running casino was not one of them. And the casino, he borrowed a lot of money from the mob to build the casino, and it flopped. And that's why Bugsy met his end at his girlfriend Virginia Hill's house in Beverly Hills. And why Beverly Hills? The mob had a policy of keeping any violence out of Las Vegas because they were making so much money there. They didn't want to spoil a good thing. So anything that had to happen outside of Vegas. And that just led to the more notoriety of the Flamingo. So the original $100 chip that was used on opening night at the Flamingo is the holy grail of casino collectibles.
So,
and I have seen one.
I was going to ask you, have you seen it or know anyone who's seen it? You've seen one, huh?
I've seen one. It was at the convention one year. There was the collector who owned it, brought it to display.
Wow. He was showing off, by the way, I think. So,
yeah.
Charles, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website for the Casino Collectibles Association, the Museum of Gaming History, the Chip Guide, and how people can register for this year's Casino Collectibles Association exhibit and show in Las Vegas, and any other website or social media you want to give out, because the collectibles industry is so fascinating to me.
Okay, so if you go to the Casino Collectible Association's website, which is ccgtcc.com, you'll be able to navigate to all the websites. The Museum of Gaming History's website is themogh.org, the MOGH.org, and the Chip Guide is chipguide.themogh.org. And there is also a website for the Atlantic City Club, and I host that personally, so it's under my domain. It's CKAPLAN, ckaplan.com/ACCCC, ckaplan.com/ACCCC for Atlantic City Casino Collectibles Club.
Okay. Charles Kaplan from the Museum of Gaming History and the Casino Collectibles Association, as well as the Chip Guide, thank you so much for coming on and talking about the incredible work you're doing in the industry. In my opinion, collectibles are a way of preserving the history of this industry, and it's such an incredibly interesting topic. Please come back on and keep us up to date about what's going on in the casino collectibles industry. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're very welcome. And one last thing.
Sure.
There's a free seminar open to everybody. If you go to the Museum of Gaming History website, you could sign up for it. It's February 24th, and it's all about finding stuff on the Chip Guide.
That sounds great. And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.